Hi everyone, welcome to mock interview series powered by PM School. Today we have Anjali from Bajaj Finserv Health. She is a product manager there. Hi Anjali, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Aakriti. Hi, PM School community. I'm very excited to be here. I'm obviously doing this after a very long time. So excited to see how I will be interviewed here. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So today we'll be working on a super interesting question, which will be a mix of a guesstimate and product strategy. Even though people are usually, they don't have an idea that this is how the question would look like. But I think like the way the question is framed, that's what tells you that it's a mix of both. So should we get started then?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So the question is, you are actually trying to understand how many daily active users are there on WhatsApp and how would we improve this metric?
Okay. So just to repeat, we are calculating the daily active users on WhatsApp,
Yes.
right? Okay. So I just have like a couple of questions before getting started. So are we talking about a specific region or is it like global
Yeah. I think
population?
you can consider India. That would be great.
Okay. And are we considering WhatsApp for personal use or is it also WhatsApp for businesses and other purposes?
I think we can combine everything. That should be fine.
Okay. Okay. Again, in the usage, are we talking about like physical usage or is it also including automated chatbots and so on and so forth?
We can keep it limited to just physical. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think I am pretty much clear. Just to state the definition of daily active users, it's the number of people who are opening the app at least once per day, right?
Yes. Yes. I think that works.
Okay. So just give me a moment.
Sure.
Okay, so I think I have divided the segments in this problem statement. For calculating the number of WhatsApp daily active users, I think we can figure out the number of WhatsApp users in general and then calculate like in multiply with the number of people who actually use WhatsApp on a daily basis, right?
Perfect.
So then the next segment of this will be number of WhatsApp users, which we need to figure out. As for calculation of number of WhatsApp users, I think because WhatsApp is very much specific to phones, and even if you use desktop, so you have to authenticate via phone. So is it fine if I consider only the number of phones in this example?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go for that.
Okay. So number of WhatsApp users will be the number of phones and the percentage of phones having WhatsApp. So that will just give us the number of WhatsApp users. So then we have to figure out the percentage of phones or the number of phones. So phones, I think we are like, there are a couple of strategies to figure out how many phones are there in India specifically. I am basically wanting to go with the household method, like how many phones are there per household, because it's like gives a bigger idea of what is the population about, and then the average phones per household. So should I go ahead with this?
Yeah. This works.
So number of phones will be number of households in India and the average phone per household. So that will give us the total number of phones. The next problem statement will be to calculate number of household, I suppose.
Yeah.
So on an average, we can consider that there are like 4 family members of a particular population. So number of households will be total population divided by average size of household, which I'm considering 4 here, right?
Cool.
So just to start with the actual maths, I'm considering the total population of India to be 1.3 billion,
Cool.
right? So it will give me 1,300 million users. And the number of household will be 1,300 by 4, which is the average size. So that will give me 325 million households, right?
Yes.
So now we have to figure out average phone per household. For this, I have divided this category into 3 segments: the upper segment, medium class, and the below poverty or lower class.
Okay.
So the classification will be 20% of the people are in the upper category, then 65% will be in medium, and around 15% in the lower category. The people who are basically not able to access phone, active internet, or any of the reasons.
Got it.
So for this, we will be focusing on upper and medium class only. So 20% of 325 gives us 65 million users in the upper category households, and 65% of 325 gives me 212 million households in the medium category, right?
Yes.
So if I suppose if the category is upper, so the average household having phones will be around 3, because parents and then children.
Yeah.
And for the medium category, I'm taking that number to be like 1.5 on an average. Like sometimes people are having phone, sometimes children are not having phone.
Yeah.
So that will give me the total number of phone in the upper category to be 65 million household into 3 average phones per household, which is 195 million.
Cool.
And in the medium category, it will be 212 million households, which we calculated, into
Yeah.
1.5 average phone per household, which gives me 318 million phones. So combining these two, I think we are having about 413 million total phones in India.
Got it.
So now after this, we have to calculate 2 factors. So if you are having a phone, there are like, can I assume there are like 85% chances that the people will be having WhatsApp?
Yeah, yeah, I think because India is pretty much like a smartphone
Yeah,
market.
it's a very high
Very
penetration
consumed.
app. So 85% of 513 gives me 436. That is the total number of people in India having WhatsApp. And for daily active users, I suppose WhatsApp is a communication channel. So you have to use it every day, plus you receive at least once message, or people just go there and then see if they are receiving any message. So can I assume like 90% of the people who are having WhatsApp opens the app at least once a day?
Yeah, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. So that will give me 436 million into 0.9, which is 392 million DAU. So I think to solve this problem, my answer would be there are like 392 million daily active users in India.
Perfect. That sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay. Just to validate this stat, I think because we also have to be like sure that this is the right number, we can consider that there are like 2.5 billion active users of WhatsApp all around world. And I think obviously India is the largest one. So we can just consider that around 15% of people are from India as per my stats accordingly. So 2500 million into 0.15 gives me 375 million users. So I think it's pretty close that
Yeah.
we are on the right
It
number.
works
So
out. Yeah.
yeah. Anything else in the guesstimate part you would want me to solve?
No, no, I think this is perfect. And I really like the fact that you are also trying to match the number from overall stats, which gives a validation that whatever estimate you did, it's pretty much in the right range.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. I think then now we can move to the next part of the question where we actually brainstorm on how can we improve the DAU for WhatsApp.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good question because WhatsApp is already having a huge DAU. So it
Yeah.
becomes like a challenge after this. So I obviously have a couple of questions before that. So first is, are we considering WhatsApp for personal use, business use, mobile phones, web, something on those lines?
So yeah, I think it's we can consider personal use because that's definitely a bigger opportunity. And in terms of mobile and web, we can again consider mobile because you'd already mentioned that point where web is also ultimately tied to mobile. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the problem statement becomes the how to increase the DAU of WhatsApp mobile specifically. And I suppose WhatsApp is being used for doing a lot of chats, or do you want me to focus on the chat functionality or increasing the overall engagement, which ultimately will increase the DAU?
Yeah, I think we can focus on overall engagement because chats is like just one part of it, and maybe we can come
Yeah.
up with interesting solutions there in engagement.
Okay. So I think I'll just start with the segmentation basis age group. So we have like multiple segmentations like Gen Z, 15 to 25 years people, then Gen Y, millennials people were like 25 to 40 range,
Yeah.
then the Gen X, like 40 to 60, and then the people above 65. And I think even though the functionality is chat, all of these people use WhatsApp for sort of different purposes. So do you want me to focus on a particular segment, or is it like a general engagement sort of?
That's a very good point. I think we can focus on Gen Z because that's where most of the revenue would be coming from, and plus their attention span is low. So I think it would be challenging to see like what kind of solutions we could come up with.
Okay, yeah. Gen Z, I can relate. So I think I can solve well also. So basically, I think I'll just mention first how they are using WhatsApp. So majorly they use WhatsApp for sending, receiving messages, staying connected in a groups mostly. And yeah, I think just watching status and then putting a display picture in terms of text or images, I think the major uses. As a Gen Z personally, because I am my user persona now,
Yeah.
so I think the very first problem I face is on the lines of privacy. So I'm just like, at this step, I'm just basically pointing out the pain point so that I can realize that which pain point to solve it for, or which is like the most impactful pain point. So I think privacy is a concern because you have to share your number while connecting to anyone on WhatsApp. Then the content on WhatsApp is not very active or publicly available. So if you go to the WhatsApp, you just have to send or receive messages of some kind. You can't just go to WhatsApp and then be entertained, sort of, is some of the things which I feel. Then there's a standard too many group messages, too many mute groups and all process, and the important messages get slots in the process. And I think last one I would like to mention is because WhatsApp is competing against a lot of apps like Instagram, Twitter, and so on. And then there are like so much of content out there. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why the engagement side of WhatsApp can be improved. So do you want me to focus on a specific pain point? Because like I personally feel if we have to move ahead, we can focus on the content and the privacy part. But do you want me to like focus on
No, no, I
specifics?
think this completely makes sense. So you can go ahead with this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I'll just take a moment. Okay. So with respect to privacy and Gen Z, that's my problem statement. I am focusing on how are the possible options to increase the engagement side of it. And there are like three, four options that are coming in front of my mind as I speak. So
Okay.
the first option which I have always wanted personally is an option for private chat. Like I am already having a lot of communication with some people, but especially Gen Zs are very much on the lines of say, being judged by things, or again, the privacy concern that if I send a picture, it will be saved in all the phones.
Yeah.
So if I have an option of creating a private chat and then communicating, I think it would be more open and more liberal sort of platform because I don't have to care about, say, being judged and so on and so forth.
Makes
And like Snapchat or any other platform, the private chat will be disappearing after 24 hours, can be like the functionalities, and then there can be like other functionalities. Second concern, which I feel in terms of privacy, is having a public profile with respect to username, like Telegram does or like Instagram does. Like your profile is on the web. So for connecting with you, you just have to, connect with the online URL rather than like having some things like a personal phone number so that you can call, because that's also a concern which I don't prefer to share my WhatsApp number. So that's also one of the
yes.
concerns which we do. If I have a online web profile, it would be better for me to connect with more people. Plus, you can also share that profiles on your different socials to being connected on that, like any other platform.
Makes
So I
sense.
think that would be one solution. One solution which I personally have ever wanted was to have a date field for say different life events. So for in case of say engagement,
Yeah.
if I have a date of say my birthday, my anniversary, job, so on and so forth, and my close friends will either be notified that today is my birthday, or
Yeah.
there's a separate place for see whose birthdays are today. So
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
on those things. And because we Gen Zs are not very good with, say, remembering birthdays.
Yeah.
And birthdays, honestly, are our conversation starters.
That's
So,
true. That's
so
true.
that will basically increase back and forth discussion. And that will also help the basically Gen Z to stay connected. That's the main purpose of WhatsApp to the core. Other solution, again, something which I've always wanted is to integrate WhatsApp with Splitwise or vice versa.
That would be
Like,
amazing feature.
yeah. So Gen Z struggle a lot. You go to a party, nobody pays you back. That's like a ongoing rant. But if within the group, because mostly plannings are happening on group, like that cancelled Goa plan or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you can integrate Splitwise, you can add expenses, delete expenses. And because WhatsApp has a WhatsApp payment, it will be inbuilt ecosystem and you don't have to go to any other app. So I think that would be a huge plus for people using the platform for just updating the expense, if not texting and so on and so forth. And I think the last which I'm thinking of is to basically change the format of how the content is being shown. So right now there's only a story format. You cannot say put a lot of creativity in creating content on WhatsApp. More often than not, it's the content that you create on other channels and then you share it on WhatsApp as a link and so on and so forth. So if integrate like shorts or something like reels and so on and so forth, if you enhance the capability of content creation on the platform and provide this content publicly, because as I mentioned in the second pointer, if there's like an online profile URL, that will help me to come to the platform even when I don't have to message someone. So this basically increases the DAU. So just to mention a little bit further, the metrics basically which I will be looking for, because I like so many solutions, and if I like brainstorm for more time, I'll get like more, will always be the stickiness, like which is daily active users divided by monthly active users. And then there are other metrics which I have to figure out in the prioritization process, like average session time, average session per DAU, so on and so forth, majorly on the lines of retention. So
got it.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's a very fair point, because you've mentioned points which are outside the chat and they are also touching privacy. So it ultimately, whatever solution you come up with, that explains like what is the ultimate goal you're striving for. I just have one last question. Since you came up with a lot of solutions, how would you prioritize which one to pick first?
Okay, yeah. So I think I add this for simplicity. I'll just use the effort to reward ratio. There are like multiple frameworks that people use depending upon, say, your team size, your project timeline, so on and so forth. So I'll just figure out which are the areas which are like very low effort and high reward. In my area, like integrating date of birth field, because you're already having multiple fields in your profile. If you just integrate one and use that data to show it somewhere, because again, you have like a lot of options, is a field which will not just increase the number of messages or the number of times people are getting notified, it also increases the connection factor, which I think is the most important. So integrating date of birth out of my all solutions will be my low effort, high reward sort of solution. And then in terms of, say, privacy, if we go towards the high effort, high reward cycle, so having a personal chat will be a high effort, high reward. And in terms of, say, I would say feasibility and usability, integrating Splitwise will be like, I'll give all points to WhatsApp if WhatsApp ever does this. And I think there are a lot of people like me. Will be a high effort for sure, but it will also increase the feature adoption and so on and so forth metrics. So that will be my high effort, high reward category. So
no, I think I absolutely agree. And especially with the Splitwise one, I think it would be a game changer for WhatsApp payments, because that's something which is, I feel, a bit struggling because of other competitors in the market. So spot on. Great. Thank you so much, Anjali. This was amazing. I loved how you answered all the questions right from guesstimate to the strategy, and especially the part where you went into details of the guesstimate and even in the pain points, before even coming up with solutions, what are the pain points? And then you could brainstorm on solutions basis that. So this was super great. And thank you so much for taking out time for doing this. And I hope the audience definitely finds value in this.
Yeah. I also, like, I have done this after a very long time. So I'm also like very happy. Thank you for inviting me to the session. And PM School is obviously doing a great job. So yeah, kudos guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you liked our video, please like, subscribe and share it with your friends. And you can also subscribe to PM School channel for more updates. Thank you. Bye-bye.